Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Podcasting Mastered. I'm Chelsea, and I'm here with Wade as always. And on this episode, we have kind of a little, not really double feature type thing for you, but we're going to be covering two different things. One of them, actually both of them are really pretty brand new. We're going to do the Super Mario Brothers movie and just give our thoughts on that movie, and also the very surprising, free, interesting game that was released, The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Fantastic title. I love it.
Oh yes, definitely was immediately okay, what is this? It's free. Oh my gosh, I have to play it. So they knew how to get people's attention.
Oh, they did, and it worked. So hey, because here we are.
Yes, exactly. But first, you want to cover the Super Mario Brothers movie first?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's go for it.
So we both watched this movie, and probably opening weekend, I think we both watched it.
Mm-hmm. I think so. I was there the first day. We watched that and the D&D movie, so we had a double feature.
Yes, a long day of that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this movie, okay, to be honest, I think I watched the very first trailer for this movie, and I hadn't watched anything since. So I really didn't even know, what story they were even trying to go for this movie. I was just
Same.
It looks kind of fun, interesting. I don't know. Let's just see what it has going on. But, initially, I thought it was pretty good. It was enjoyable. It was fine. It was great job with the animation. They did a really good job of just, capturing it just right with all the characters and just...
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I saw a lot of stuff online about how, it wasn't animated well and it looked awful. And this is, after the movie came out, and I was just kind of really?
What?
Because I thought it was amazing. I thought they put a lot of, love into it. And also, it's a Nintendo movie. And they treated it, I assume, the same way they treat their games. And as far as, no, that's not seeing the light of day until it's, sparkling. Until, it's worked out and it's sparkling. Because that's usually how, Nintendo is has very high opinions on itself. So.
Yeah. No, I'd be really curious, what they had issues with the animation.
Yeah.
Because
that's quite the hot take.
Yes.
I don't think it's correct at all.
No, definitely not. No, the animation itself was just so fluid. The details with the characters, it just perfectly, captured them, recreated them. They also put so much love into the animation, right at the top, just saying, there's so much going on the screen. Many details, so
much going on all the time.
Easter eggs. This
References
movie is Easter egg
always.
Overload.
Every 5 seconds I was oh my god. My brain was on crack the whole time because I was just seeing everything all the time.
Yeah. And I was I haven't played too many Mario games, and I kind of knew some references, but it was just I know I'm missing stuff, but there's so much I'm catching. I'm just wow. And honestly, it was I think it's a pretty good animation studio in general that was in charge of this, because this was Illumination, who's known for the Despicable Me movies and everything, which those movies are silly and stuff, but there's nothing wrong with their animation.
So good. They know what they're doing.
Oh my gosh.
They trusted the right people with that, I feel.
Mm-hmm, for sure. It was just kind of surprising to be there was going to be a movie, but I was well, I still have a sour taste in my mouth from that one the live action Super Mario movie. From what years ago?
I think everybody does.
Yeah. So I was surely anything could be better than that.
I saw people on Twitter saying that they liked the original better than this one. I was get out. Stop being a contrarian. Get out of here.
Yeah, I know. They're just trying to fight everybody. They're just causing trouble. Come on, get out of here.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Liking one thing doesn't mean you can't like another thing.
No.
Yes,
yeah.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. The other one did have more Yoshi than this one, but the next one will have plenty of Yoshi, I'm sure, based off of the credit scene. So
okay, so I will say I missed the credit scene. The reason being that I saw this at a drive-in, and the guy telling everybody how to leave the theater was talking over everything.
Oh,
and
boo!
Yes,
Dumb.
It was very upsetting.
I was my shoe.
No,
shut up.
Yeah,
movie's not over until the credits are over. Get out.
I know, for real. Well, that happened one time. I went to the drive-in thing too, and it was a Marvel movie, and I'm come on, everybody knows what happens in a Marvel movie. There's gonna be post credits. Don't talk, don't cut out the music. So it was just kind of like, okay, well, I already missed half this, bye. So we ended up just leaving. So you'll have to.
It's all that happens is like the camera is like going through like the sewer, like where like the portal to the Mushroom Kingdom is. And you know the Yoshi egg that somebody brought to the wedding as a gift? That Yoshi egg is just kind of like chilling in the sewer there. And then it starts to like crack open. And then that's it. That's all it is.
Okay, there we go. Now I can be satisfied. There we go. But should we kind of briefly explain the story?
Yeah, it's not terribly complicated.
No.
So you got like in the Mushroom Kingdom, Bowser is gone to collect the Power Star so that he can go to the Mushroom Kingdom, conquer it, and ask Princess Peach for her hand in marriage. Not that she knows that specifically. She thinks he's coming there to just destroy and take over and everything. So she's trying to like get an army together to stop him. And then here comes Mario and Luigi, fresh from the real world, who accidentally finds themselves in the Mushroom Kingdom. And then they go on an adventure and nobody knows who Mario is, which is just absolutely hilarious. And he's like learning how to like do all his cool Super Mario stuff from Peach, which I thought was nice. I mean, because she's like girl boss in this movie. That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was a nice surprise. And I was like, heck yes. Okay,
yeah,
so she's not the one we have to rescue or like watch being rescued in this movie. Thank goodness.
I think she does more cool stuff in the movie than Mario does. Like barring the end with Mario and Luigi getting the Power Star. That was freaking cool.
Yeah.
But outside of that, she's like, all right, she's always ready to fight. Always.
No, this time Luigi is like the damsel in distress.
Oh, poor. I felt so bad for Luigi that whole movie. Like they get there, they get separated. Of course, he's thrown in where he's thrown in. But I did love the subtle like Luigi's Mansion nods that were kind of happening. Him wandering around with the flashlight, being all shaky and stuff, like, and then getting scared out of his mind every 5 seconds. Like that was nice. But yeah, he was a prisoner most of the movie.
Which, oh my gosh, that just makes me talk. So those prisoners, what was up with the
the Luma who was like, I don't even know like what to say about
death is the best. Like I wish I had written down
for
those
the sweet
quotes
release
because
of death.
Yeah. I was just in shock and awe of that. I was just like, is this happening right now? Okay.
And it's a bummer I love that they put the Luma in there because it's so random, but I really hope that means that Rosalina will be in the next one, in the next movie, because Rosalina's I hope they can make Rosalina the pretty princess protect me kind of lady. Peach doesn't need to be that, but they can make Rosalina that person. That's okay.
Yeah, Peach has made it known that, she can take care of herself and she'll be with them fighting along, which I guess kind of going back to the very beginning of the movie, that part made me laugh because I was like, what in the world am I watching? And then it ends up being like, because it's in the real world, and it was that Mario and Luigi were watching a commercial they had done together with those like over-the-top accents. Yes, for their plumbing.
That was fantastic.
I appreciate this. I'm like, yes, this is great.
Their mom's calling them like movie stars and stuff. They're so proud of them.
Yeah. And I thought that was a little fun too, to like actually be like, oh, we're actually kind of like, with starting with them in the real world and like seeing like they have a family and like all their dynamics and everything, and adds a little bit more character development in a way. So
no, it's really nice. Although like from the end of the movie, it doesn't really seem like they're gonna be like living in the real world anymore. Like they seem pretty solidly set in the Mushroom Kingdom, which really I think is fine. They don't really need to be connected to the real world, like, ever. Because they kind of found their home and stuff like that. But, yeah.
So, I know I'm going to mention this because, it was a big deal when they announced who was going to be the voice actors in this movie. And that it was Chris Pratt, once again, being at the forefront of a movie. So, what did you think of him as Mario?
I thought he was fine. In the same way that most of the other actors just kind of played themselves too. Like most of the other actors, they were like, oh, we're not doing voices, we're just doing ourselves. And even a lot of their like actual personalities were put into the characters too. Like, when compared to the rest of the cast, I was like, okay, I'll give Chris Pratt a break, I guess. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, he was overall to me like okay-ish, but there were parts where I'm just like I'm not sure if he forgot like what kind of voice he was doing for Mario, because it would go from like Chris Pratt to like super like stereotypical Mario to something in between, because like the whole like thing was the joke of like having that ridiculous accent and everything was like kind of the joke with like the commercial at the beginning of the movie, but then it was like I don't know. So I felt like he kind of like lost his way through parts of the movie with his like accent, but
I mean, it was kind of like, do you have one? Do you not have one? Like, how far are we going with it? Like, what's happening
yeah.
here? Yeah, it was kind of all over the place.
But I mean, some of the other voice actors like surprised me and stuff, and I was just like, yeah, they were like born to play this role. Like Jack Black as Bowser.
Perfect, absolutely perfect.
Oh my gosh. And we got like a song out of it too. Even better.
You mean the Tenacious D song that he wrote for the movie? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
my kids have been all like, "Oh my gosh, Peaches is the best." Like, oh, I'm like, oh, you mean like it's just a typical Tenacious D song? And they're just like, "What's Tenacious D?" And I'm just like, "Detention,
Before your
get
time.
out." Like, nope, this is just Jack Black sitting at a piano being Jack Black. This is this is just what it is.
But I would say like, yeah, with like Anya Taylor-Joy like being Princess Peach, like you could definitely tell it was her voice, but like they did a pretty good job like
it
picking her
sounded
to
so
be
sincere
Peach, yeah.
and like it was so nice though.
Yeah. And then she also had that like toughness to her, which worked out for like no nonsense Princess Peach. Now, like we already mentioned, there are like so many Easter eggs in this movie, so much happens in this movie, so many characters introduced. Like, were there some things where you're just like, OMG, I loved that this was in this movie?
Let's see, to name some of them. The very, very like beginning opening thing, where like the random guy's playing like the arcade Mario Brothers, like he's doing like the old original Donkey Kong thing. Loved that. And that guy, the guy who voices him is Mario. Like the guy who voices Mario, Charles Martinet, he voiced that guy, and he was Mario's dad. Which was just like the second, which you hear the random dude talk before you hear Mario's dad talk, and the second that guy started talking, because that guy did have like this ridiculous Italian accent, and I was just like, oh, yep, there he is, because I knew he was in the movie, but they didn't want to like spoil like what he was doing in the movie, and the second I heard it, I was like, oh, there he is, found him.
That's fun, yeah.
How about you? Was there anything that you noticed?
I mean, a couple things I could think of, like, okay, because we've already talked about, like, the love and care they put into, like, the creation of this movie and the animation stuff, but also the fact that, like, there's so many, like, sound effects and just, like, musical things, like,
so
that are
many.
from the games that they decided to, like, put in the movie, which was just amazing. Just to be like, those callbacks to those things, or just thinking that like we're watching a movie of like a video game that is well done. And like, so that's a lot of fun. And then I'm always just a sucker for Rainbow Road. It's always a game I love, to like Mario Kart and everything. I'm just like, yes, Rainbow Road.
And I was not shocked. They featured Mario Kart pretty heavily in the movie. I was not shocked one bit. It was fine. Like,
no.
But no, I loved all of the, like, they at the end of that whole scene, like the blue shell. the Koopa who was the blue shell and just destroys the whole thing. I loved that so much.
Yes. I was like, oh, that's so great. And then I thought seeing Donkey Kong though was kind of fun too. He's just
speaking of a voice actor playing himself in the movie. Yeah, all of the Kongs, that whole section, I was just like on the edge of my seat, because they had Seth Rogen being Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong was being himself. That was great, but Cranky Kong being the king, and Fred Armisen playing Cranky Kong, like that made me so happy. Like he started talking, and I was like, yeah, I'm here for this. But then like, all the time they would like pan out and scan the crowd and stuff, and you saw like, oh, there's Diddy, oh, there's all the Kongs from Donkey Kong 64, there's Dixie, there's I'm just like, oh my god, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. I love the Kongs so much, and the fact that like even Diddy got a line, I don't remember. Somebody plays him, and I don't remember who it is that plays Diddy. Oh gosh, I'll have to look that up later. I knew who it was, and then I lost it. But I just seeing Diddy. Diddy's my favorite. He's my favorite Kong. So hopefully, in the next one, if I'm sure, because surely the Kongs will be in the next movie. Surely,
yes.
Oh wait, no, they're supposed to get their own movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Kongs are getting their own movie. So hopefully, well, if they're getting their own movie, Diddy will have a pretty prominent role. So he's only best friends with Donkey. So
yeah, but that was just fun to see them all, and just I'm like, yeah, because I was like, when they kept them doing those scenes of all the crowd, I'm like, I don't even know all of them, but I'm like, that's just crazy, all the details put in there. I'm like, I need to be able to watch this movie and just like pause every frame, just like fully appreciate how like the explosion of Easter eggs and just.
It was just so good, and like they capped it off with the ending with Mario and Luigi getting the power star from Bowser and just going to town on him. Oh my gosh. I mean, that happens in the real world, like like damn, okay, all right. But like it's just It was so cool. I left there just completely just satisfied with how everything turned out.
Yeah. It was a fun time. Like the movie knew what it wanted to do, and it did it well, and it's definitely worth a watch, I think.
When we get the second one, is there like a character that you'd like to see or something being used that wasn't really put into this one?
I want to see some Waluigi.
some Waluigi. I don't know. I'm sure if they add one of them, it'll definitely be Wario.
I know.
Nintendo doesn't really see Waluigi as like a canon character because he's only in the sports games. He was created for what, like Mario Tennis way back in the day, and he's only ever been used for the sports games and other like party games and stuff. He has yet to be in an official Mario game, and Nintendo gets real like about him. So it would be if they put him in there, like it would be quite revolutionary for his character.
I was like, that's the only thing I've ever played. Like, I've played a lot of the party games. I think I've played, like, maybe some classic, like, Mario, but, yeah, I've played probably more, like, Mario Kart.
More of those fun kind of things,
games. Yeah. But, yeah, no, Wario could be interesting, but I don't know. Is there a character that you would love to see? Or, I mean, you did mention one earlier.
Yeah,
so.
like Rosalina would be really cool. Wario and Waluigi would be great. Like, they could probably work as the villains of the movie. Because they're just so dastardly. You'd have like brother rivalry versus brother rivalry kind of thing. So that would be absolutely cool. Like Birdo would be great. See what they could do with Birdo in a movie. But if Yoshi's just really entering the thing, they probably won't use Birdo. But all the Yoshis, so many Yoshis, yes. That'd be fine.
There's lots of potential. Who knows how many movies they could end up making? So. Lots of possibilities there. Well, before we move on to our next thing, do you have any other final words about the movie?
If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's a good time, and it's definitely worth your $7 or so.
Agreed. Well, so now we're going to move on to a video game we both played. As we mentioned, it's the very surprising the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I can't remember. Weren't we like doing something together when we saw that this was a thing, and then like we freaked out? And like I went straight to Steam and I downloaded it. I was like, there's no way that's a thing. Absolutely it was a thing. So this,
'cause it was like released on April 1st, right?
It was released the day before.
Oh, okay.
To coincide with April Fool's Day, but like it's a full game. It's a whole thing. It is made by Sega. It is made by Sega, but it's not made by Sonic Team. It was actually developed by the Sega social team. They made it themselves,
wow.
And Sega was just like, "No, you can put that out. That's fine."
That's really cool. Yeah.
And it's not a complicated game at all. It's a point and click visual novel type of game with like a couple different little mini games in there. But the setting is that it's Amy Rose's birthday. She wants to go on this train as like her party, and for her party she wants to have a murder mystery game. So everybody's there. You've got Sonic, Knuckles, Amy, Tails. You have Blaze the cat, which she's in some games. She's not as like recognizable as some of the others. You also have Shadow, and then you have Rogue the Bat and Espio and Victor.
Yeah.
Espio the chameleon and Victor the crocodile. The Chaotix team. Well, minus one, our little bee friend, but that's okay. And they all are assigned jobs to do during this party, like Knuckles is like the Western sheriff.
Some of them take their roles very seriously.
They do. Tails is the detective. Amy is the reporter. And then Sonic, of course, is the captain conductor of the train.
Of course.
They all have their little roles to play, and then the game starts. And you are you are a specific character to the game, like a kid who's just starting working there that day. Whose job, and like your job is as the chef, but like you use the microwave. Yeah, you microwave things, so it's okay. Yeah. He panics a lot. It's okay.
Oh my gosh, that character is freaking hilarious.
And it wouldn't. Okay, so you get to name the character, right? You get to name the character,
have to talk about that.
and usually, like, whatever is not a problem. I put in Wade as the character's name, and they told me that my name was inappropriate, and I could not use it. I was so upset. I was like, this is the stupidest thing.
I know, when you texted me that, I was like, are you kidding? I was like, there's nothing wrong with your name. What in the world did they flag?
I've never had that happen before, but whatever. I chose a different name, and it's okay.
Yeah.
But, so the event starts, the train leaves the station rather abruptly. Like, it kicks off and throws everybody back, and when everybody has already, like, they've gone off to their compartments where they're supposed to stay during this game. And the playable character, Sonic, or Tails and Amy, they're supposed to stay behind, but when they, like, kind of get up from the train, like, throwing everybody back, Sonic is there. Like, the lights have been turned off, and they wake up, and Sonic is there, like, dead. Like, extremely hurt, very not okay, unconscious, the whole thing. And Tails and Amy are like, oh, no, he's super dramatic. Like, he's just really going the extra effort. For Amy's birthday, and the playable character is just like, I can kind of hear him dying, and they're like, no, he's fine. So you're off on your little point and click visual novel adventure.
Oh my gosh, it's just, I don't know, this was such a funny, enjoyable game. Like, just the banter between like all the characters and like the like internal dialogue from your your playable character, like, I was just like so smiling and laughing.
I know.
Yes, it really was. Oh my gosh.
It was such a good time, and you get to see all the characters, and most of them are like acting within their play, like whatever they were supposed to be. Like, they're doing a pretty good job of it, except for Knuckles, because he's supposed to be like a cowboy sheriff, and he's not here for that.
No, he's like, I'm here in the area I'm supposed to be, but that's good enough. It. Yeah.
And he punches the arcade cabinet because he lost.
Oh man. Yeah.
But did you have a favorite character? Like, did you have a favorite like part?
I don't know. Like, a lot of the characters I wasn't actually very familiar with before I played the game, because I hadn't played any like Sonic games where they were in it. But I did like Tails a lot, though, being like the detective and stuff. And
he was so himself.
So adorable.
Yeah, he was just his adorable self the whole time.
And then I just had to laugh. I don't know. I thought like, they were all pretty enjoyable. And then just our like playable character, I'm like, you are so strange. I love this.
And they would like call you out on it too. Like, you need to calm down. Like, you're being super weird. Knock it off. Like, I'm fanboying over here, and they're just like, you need to stop.
Because they're like, oh, that is the actual Sonic, the real Sonic. Oh my gosh.
Like, hasn't he like saved the world 100 times? That's crazy. Yeah. Why is he here?
Yeah. They're like celebrities everywhere. But did you have a favorite character?
I liked the segment when you get to the casino cart. I think it's the casino cart with Blaze and Rogue. I liked that. And the surprise like safe heist.
Yes. I was like, yes, we're gonna do this. Heck yes.
That was and then like you get the little Chow Fabergé egg. Also, first off, a Fabergé Chow egg. How freaking inventive is that? That was the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then it's a bomb. And then you got all the selection choices and like the panicky, like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do?
Yes. I love selecting them all.
And you got to go through all of them. You didn't have to like just, well, I guess I'll choose this one.
Yeah.
You got to go through all the options. Like, why would you do that? That's not gonna work.
Yeah, no, like we said, like, yeah, it's so well written. It was just a lot of fun. But I will admit, there was one part of this game I did not like.
Oh no, I wonder what it is.
I know. You know what you wonder? The actual game part.
The actual game part.
Yeah.
So listeners, in the game, when you have to like confront each of the character and like interrogate them based off of like the evidence and clues that you find in each person's room, when you confront them with evidence, you have to play this little mini game to like kind of get your thoughts in order. And then this super cute, amazingly easy mini game.
Oh, that's right. I need to get good.
You gotta
right?
get good. It's very Sonic-y. It puts you on like a path and you're running and you have to collect just whatever the target goal rings. You have to get so many rings while you're moving side to side and you're jumping, avoiding hazards and stuff. You get to the end of the thing and you can continue with the interrogation. I would say most of it was pretty easy until the end. And then you have to do like a bunch of them in a row and you have to get like 70, 80 plus coins. And they got pretty serious there at the end, like with that mini game. I had to, like that very last one, I had to do that probably, gosh, it must have been like 7 or 8 times.
Yeah, I lost count on that last one. I was getting very frustrated at the end. Yeah, because not only do that, like, you had to collect more and more coins, and then they also, like, got more complicated, but they also, they went faster, for sure. Or at least
they did.
Everything just felt faster.
They sure did.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that idea of, like, playing the little game to get your thoughts in order, like, that was fun and creative and everything. I was just like, ugh, I don't like this part. This is slowing me down in the game.
I could do, like, a whole game, like, where that's what you do.
No, I'm out of here. I'll do the visual novel portion anyway.
Fair enough, I guess. But it didn't like ruin your enjoyment of the game, though, did it?
No, I just definitely got really frustrated towards it. And I'm like, come on, just get through it. And then there were a couple times where I'd be like missing one coin to pass.
Yeah, that was me several times. I would look up and I'm one or two short. It's like, okay, for real. All right.
Yeah. But, got through it. Which then later, I read that you could change the difficulty level on that or whatever. Which I don't know how much it actually helped, but I was like, oh, whatever. Well, I completed it as is, I guess. So I feel satisfied.
There we go. Yeah. Now, I'm sure the game probably follows like a one-track situation where it's always the same murderer and the same ending and everything. So I'll have to ask you later because I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil the murder mystery for everybody.
No, definitely
I'll have to
not.
ask you, who was your murderer compared to mine? They're probably the same, but I was very suspicious the whole time, though. I was.
Yeah, although I will admit, it was fun to accuse somebody else of murder because I wanted to see how they would react.
Could you do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was really funny.
I went straight to this one. I was like, I knew it was you. Knew the whole time.
Yeah. No, I was like, I somehow became slightly suspicious of somebody else, and I'm just like, I just want to know what you do when you accuse this person. And so I did that first, and then I did the correct one. But definitely not going to spoil this for our listeners.
Excellent. Well,
and I mean, this game is also pretty short too.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours maybe. Like, it's not very long, and it's free. It's also free on Steam, so
yep,
go get it.
Beat that.
No, not at all. And for just a fun little like Sonic side thing for April Fools, like, one, it looks fantastic, it plays fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, they did such a good job considering like it is what it is, But it is so good. If it ever makes it onto like iPhone or something, like mobile, I'll definitely be playing it again.
Yeah, definitely a fun one. Wow. I feel like this was kind of like almost a retro-esque episode covering Mario and Sonic, but in newer versions of themselves. So we watched the movie and played the game, and we recommend both. So listeners, let us know if you have watched the movie or if you've tried out the game. We'd love to hear from you guys. Thanks again, listeners, for listening to this week's episode. Be sure to like or subscribe wherever you listen to this podcast. As always, we would appreciate you to follow us or, like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PodDemastered. And let us know if there's something you would like us to cover, whether it's something new or old. We'd love to hear from you guys. And thanks so much for listening to this week's episode, and we hope you tune in to the next one. See ya.